At the start of the Second World War, the German soldiers wore leather jack boots. Now, originally they were quite tall, but these are the later model because they were shortened slightly just to save leather. And another item that was changed, the trousers. These are called field grey, but at the start of the war, the colour would be a stone grey. And that again, that went out around 1940. Now the rifle, that's the Mauser, the K98k, that's in 7.92mm. That was introduced in June 1935 as the standard rifle for the German army. This one, it's got a metal cover around the front sight just to protect it. Although the colour of the uniform is known as field grey, it is actually a green colour. The first model was the 1936 pattern. It had pleated pockets, top and bottom, and a dark green collar and dark green shoulder straps. But then about 1940, they did away with the dark green collar. But this particular jacket, I think it's actually a 1941 because the collar is not original to the tunic. That was quite a common practice actually, that the German soldiers would take the plain field grey collars off and put the dark green ones because it looked nicer. And then in 1942, as the war went on, they're trying to save material. They did away with all the pleats on the pockets as well. And by 1944, they had another jacket again, which is a little short jacket like the British battle dress blouse. Then you have the leather belt around the waist with a metal buckle. Then there was the 3 ammunition pouches on either side. And then leather shoulder straps to take the weight. And the waterproof bag at the front there, that was for the gas cape. And although most armies and soldiers carried gas masks all throughout the war, I don't think gas was ever used in the Second World War. Over on the left hand side would be the straight handle entrenching tool in its leather case, and then fastened to that as well was the bayonet for the Mauser rifle, and then the green metal fluted tin on the side there, that's for the gas mask. On the other side we have the canvas bread bag that's fastened to the belt. Then fastened to the bread bag is the water canteen. That's aluminium with a felt cover and a metal cup for drinking out of. And on the back we have the rolled up camouflage poncho, and on top of that is a metal aluminium mess tin. Now the poncho roll and the mess tin they're attached to an A-frame which then hooks onto the leather shoulder straps. I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. You can now have a better look of the A-frame, the canvas A-frame that the poncho roll and the mess tin attached to, and then the A-frame is hooked onto those metal loops on the leather shoulder straps. This is the M36 helmet. This is actually the first thing I ever bought. I bought this from a boy in my class at school when I was 15. It's a double decal. It's got the flag on that side and the eagle on the other, and it's in apple green. It's had a bit of, looks like it's had some black paint spilt on it at one time, and its original liner. Now this, you can tell the early ones, the M36, the air vent there, there's a hole, then there's a rivet put in there. But in 1940, trying to quicken up the production, that air vent was just stamped out of one piece of metal, and then the edges are rolled over. But by 1942, I think it is, they left that open so the edge was like sticking out, just to make it a bit quicker to produce. This is the Mauser K98k, a very popular rifle. It was used and made by lots of other countries during the war. Now, this rifle slings on one side, loops there, then it goes down, goes through a hole in the buttstock, and on the other side there's a strap there holding it in place. You've got your 5-round fixed magazine there, then in the end you've got the cleaning rod, then the metal cover for the front sight. This one's actually made in 1943. Don't know whether you can see that on there. There you go. In the early 1930s, the British uniform changed to the shortened battle dress blouse. They did away with the puttees, now we've got the cotton webbing anklets. Then on the trousers, on the left leg would be a large map pocket, and on the right leg, high up there, there's a small pocket there, that's for a first aid dressing. Along with the change of the uniform, the British Army changed the webbing equipment as well. This is known as a 1937 pattern. The two large pouches on the belt there, they're called Bren pouches. Every soldier would carry extra magazines for the section's Bren gun in one pouch, and then the other pouch was for himself. Then high up on the chest, on that canvas case, is the gas mask. They'd always wear it high up there at the beginning of the war, but later on they had a smaller gas mask, a more lightweight one, and they did away with the big gas mask. Then the helmet, that's the Brody helmet, very similar to what they wore in the First World War, but now they've got elasticated chin strap. Now this man's carrying a number 4 Enfield. They only came out later on in the war. I think they came out in 1941, but they didn't see much service till near the end of the war. And this one's got its pig sticker, the bayonet attached to it. At the back we've got on the left hand side we have the bayonet, then we have the 2-piece entrenching tool, just the same as it was in the First World War, but now the helve is attached to the case for the entrenching tool head. Then if you look at the end of the wooden helve, there's an attachment there so the pig sticker bayonet can be attached on there and it can be used as a weapon. Then on the right hand side we've got the water canteen. Then most soldiers would have a cup of tea, so they quite often carry the cup like that. And in the small backpack on the back, underneath the straps there's a waterproof sheet there. That's for when they are sleeping at night time. The bayonet on this one is what's known as a cruciform blade. There weren't many of those made at the time, so it is quite rare. As with the SMLE, the number 4 had a 10-round detachable magazine, and it was a very reliable rifle, very popular, and it went into service into 1957, I think.